Hello visuals and welcome back to another beautiful edition of the Visual Guyz podcast featuring me and Chris on I don't know about you, but I'm so relaxed tonight. Chris looks to the part after just rudely walking into somebody else's house. We'll do Hawkeye first, but before we get to Hawkeye,
my ankles, you weirdo.
Apart from having an ankle fetish with a dog, do you want to quickly explain what just happened to you, Chris? Because it's quite unique.
Yeah, I basically parked up and just picked my phone up, got out my car, locked it, and then just happened to walk into the house as I always do.
Yeah.
But it turned out it wasn't your house.
Were you a few doors up?
I were a few doors up, yes.
And it was a bloke.
It was a bloke in a beanie, wearing his beanie hat. Weirdly.
What, like an old fella or a young fella?
Yeah, I think he's around our age.
And he was just sat there looking at his
He was sat on his sofa and he just turned his head. I was like, shit, sorry, wrong house. And he was like, nobody's. And I just backed off and awkwardly closed the door and ran away.
Imagine what he must be thinking, sat there just chilling, I don't know, watching a film, what he was doing, just like...
It's a good job it wasn't just doing out else.
Oh, mate. I imagine it was something good, that I imagine he was about to commit a murder or some shit. Hey! And you stopped. Or would you just go, oh, wrong house. Still shut the door.
Carry on!
As you were. So yeah, Chris is walking into a stranger's house, so you never know, you can listen to this, you might get a random... Leave him alone. Leave him alone. A random visit from... Oh, Christ.
Yeah, you might get... Yeah, I might just walk into the house one day.
Hi. Walked into the wrong house. But no, we're going to talk Hawkeye.
I know.
Episode 4. 2 more going, we're done, son.
I've been visiting fucking... how many years?
So yeah, last week, believe it or not.
Exactly.
But all the white doors look the same.
They do.
Hawkeye episode 4, I'm assuming, of course, Chris has watched.
Of course.
What did you think of the episode and stuff, mate? Like I said, 2 episodes left. I think as soon as this finishes...
Oh, I got excited.
Oh,
I was so excited.
What's...
Seen Alina, that was it.
It was cool as fuck. Obviously, when we got the teaser trailer of the outfit and that, you kind of think, it's gonna be Yelena surely, but it was confirmed. Yeah. I think it's what am I gonna say here? We get episode 5 of this, then the next day we get on the same day. Sorry, technically, you get the Spider-Man, and the day after we get the Witch season 2. This is all next week.
Yes.
So it's all like a nice... I mean, obviously, it's not the season finale of Hawkeye, which the season finale is probably going to be the biggest excitement bits because it's where they... Yes. It's always mad with Marvel films because you love the Marvel films and shows, but it's always the end that you like...
Yeah.
But the end's explaining the next thing. You get the next thing, and you just want the end because you're like... Wait,
you do want the end because you know at the end is more exciting than the fucking rest.
Yeah, because that's what's like... Oh, don't get me wrong.
It's a brilliant show. I'm loving it.
It's fucking mad. Yeah, so, takeaways from the episode. Explain and talking while I wet my palate.
You wet your palate. Well, basically, they were wanting to find more artifacts and they wanted to retrieve the watch.
Yeah, we found out what the watch is all about.
Yeah, they wanted to retrieve the watch, and as they did, they realised whose apartment they were in. And midway through said robbery/retrieval.
Is it a robbery if you're breaking in someone's house but taking your stuff back?
That's why I said that.
No, that's actually a good point because you are still breaking and entering, but the goods you're taking belong to you.
Yeah. I'd still say you'd still get done for breaking in.
Yeah. It's yeah. Anyway, so we carry on.
And like I said, they got interrupted, and fighty and all that, and then exciting.
Mm.
We finally got to see Elena, and that's it. Now it's not a game anymore. This is real.
That's why
he
sent Kate away.
Yes.
It's like no. Yeah, it's a fucking another absolute stellar episode. Every episode's just been amazing. Like I said,
I'm enjoying it. I think it's going to be one of my best programs so far.
It's definitely up there. And like I said, this is a bit of disrespect to Clinton Hawkeye. The character himself, I've never been amazed with. I've always liked him, but up against when you stood toe to toe with Thor and the Hulk and Iron Man, you kind of think you're just a guy with a bow.
You are just a guy with a bow, aren't you? But
this show, I mean, the film did a good job of portraying the Hawkeye. Definitely gives a bit more love. But this show's given him a hell of a lot more heart and intrigue.
Yeah.
And you do feel a lot more for the Hawkeye character and stuff. And Clint Barton. It's more Clint Barton than it is Hawkeye, I guess, technically in this.
It's Clint's story.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It is, I'm loving it.
Like I said, 2 episodes to go, and I'm sure there's going to be some big twisty shenanigans, hoo-ha, whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely. The next 2 episodes, it's gonna be fucking. I think it's gonna be mad. Yeah,
and obviously, whatever this reveals, it's probably not going to be for a big while because we've both agreed it's not going to be multiverse shit, but it's always going to be a lead on to, I don't know, a Young Avengers or a Hawkeye Season 2 or a Dark Avengers or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get the reveal. In between whatever this is building towards, we'll have our multiverse shenanigans, and then we'll get into that. Unless they do feel the effects that we don't know yet.
We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. My notes are not too big today. I didn't because this for me, this episode felt like it was just more of a rooftop fight.
Yeah.
There was obviously a lot of other stuff going on, but it was just a rooftop fight.
Did you not feel the? I didn't at first, but I read into it and I rewatched it, and I was like,
you rewatched the episode?
Yeah.
Of the whole thing. So like you to rewatch stuff.
I know, but it's what I've read online. It's when we maybe rewatch it.
Yeah.
It's because there's a little rumor going around that Clint's wife.
Yeah.
Could be Mockingbird.
No, I've heard. I don't think I've read into it as much as you. I've heard murmurings. But I mean, obviously, you pick up on 1 or 2 things, yeah. But for me personally, I haven't had any massive stellar concrete evidence. But that's also one of my notes. I don't need to explain about now. Well, no, Chris, no, my notes. I have heard the stuff, but it's kind of. It's easy to jump on the bandwagon. I've done it myself before.
It's everything. That's fucking Marvel all over it. It's the bandwagon.
And I don't think we'll ever get as big as the Mephisto bandwagon.
No.
I think every man and his dog believed Mephisto was in that show. I was 100% truly, but I still think he's lingering somewhere, mate. There's too many signs. But no, I have seen that stuff. Obviously, I've just sort of read a couple of headlines and I thought I won't go into too much detail because for me there's not enough evidence just yet, which doesn't mean it's not going to be.
Yeah.
But obviously you've read something.
It's just what I've read online. It's just the I can't remember what statement she came out with, but it's just reference to Mockingbird and the stuff that she does, the way that helps Clint with his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chris being an absolute nerd, fucking.
Like I say,
rewatching shit.
I'm loving this program. I really am.
It's fucking awesome.
It's chilled, but it's exciting at the same time. It really is. It really is. It's not your big blasting motherfucker that's coming from space. It's just 2 regular Joes.
Yeah. Who
know how to use a bow and arrow.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Lots of fighty shenanigans.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good reference. Like I said, I won't need to get back onto it. My first biggest one, I'm going to just point it out again. There's just another reference to Big Guy as opposed to talking with who's working with who, blah blah blah. They work for the Big Guy. I'm assuming all these nods are still Kingpin nods.
Yes.
They keep mentioning nicknames and whatnot shenanigans.
I think if not the next episode, we'll definitely see him in the episode after.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. Like I said, we still don't 100% know what Hawkeye's due to be in after this. Whether that be another Avengers or whatever it is. We don't know what he's appearing in. Or if he's appearing at all, because we still don't know his fate.
We'll find out if we're getting a season 2 again at the end of the season.
I kind of would not mind if they carried on a few more seasons with this.
Yeah.
I mean, at first we all thought all the stuff was just going to be one-offs, but as we know, Loki's going to be carrying on in episodic. So there's no reason why you can't have this. But like I said, there's Young Avengers and shit to come, so I don't know where they're going to go with this.
For all we know, after this, Clint could say, okay, then right, yes, maybe you are who you are, Kate, I mean. And it could be an episode of him training, or a season of him training Caleb.
Yeah, it could be. So, like, literally, that's me. I need to get out of the game. This is too much. I need you to just take over.
Yeah, you're taking over. You be Hawkeye. I'm going to show you the ropes.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
That'd be quite cool as well.
This Elena, Kate could be the part of the Young Avengers. Elena could be the Dark Avengers.
And the Dark Avengers. Again, she's not bad as well, which is just heartbreaking. She's misled.
Yeah.
Misinformed.
Which, again, we might see later on, probably in season 2, when she finds out the truth.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what happens at the fucking very end. We just literally spoke up on it about it being more of a Clint Barton show as opposed to a Hawkeye show. Yes, Hawkeye's referencing that, but we keep seeing like the proper human side.
Yeah, we're not seeing it as much as Hawkeye.
Yeah,
more Clint.
And that's one of my thingies here. The fact that Clint doesn't tell Eleanor, Kate's mother, that he has kids, basically trying to hide, doing everything he possibly can to hide his vulnerable side, because let's face it, Clint Barton's willing to take a beating or a scratch or a punch or a bullet, but if anyone wants to get near the family, then Clint's ruined, because we saw him go chaotic into the Ronin when he thought his family was gone forever. Yeah. So you still see him trying to do whatever he can to hide the part of him that he can't always protect, because obviously he can protect himself and whatnot.
That's it.
There's a slight nod. I'm not going to go again too into this. There's a character out there called Madam Miss Q. There's the artwork in the flat nods to it again, but I don't know if that's just a nice Easter egg. It's an old Marvel character. I don't know if it's just a bit of fun, so I haven't got enough more thingy. A Thanos was right mug. He has a mug this time. The Thanos was right. That's the second time we've seen it appear. Well, as far as I'm aware, it's the second time we've seen it appear. So he literally has a mug he's drinking out that says Thanos was right. So there's obviously some sort of movement, or I don't know what to say, like, I don't know what you'd call them, like hipstery sort of people, like, yo man, Thanos was right, dude, the man needs to go, whatever.
Yeah.
Just being a fucking twat. You alright, pal?
He's causing havoc.
Can't just have a nice fucking bed, can he? Clint says he was never the idea guy, which is quite true, because if you go back and look at the Avengers, you know who the brains were, who the leaders was, Thor being, the fucking one of the powerhouses, and Clint was just literally the guy that turned up and helped out.
Yeah, he was kind of felt like he was more of just a tag on. I think even when he was with Scarlet, Black Widow. I think he felt more of just a tag on. He was never really.
But it was a pivotal role when he was running in the Infinity Gauntlet, the Nano Gauntlet exchange. When they're all swinging through, he's got his fair bit. He's the one that gets it out of the compound as well, isn't he? So he's definitely been a key player. And again, as me as included, I've definitely overlooked him from time to time.
I think a lot of people have, including myself.
Yeah, but like I said, it's really hard when you have this crazy world of guys with claws and guys that turn green and thunder gods. There's a guy with a bow. That's why I've always been drawn more to the Green Arrow, because on paper it's the same thing. But for me, Oliver's backstory is a hell of a lot better. And he's done such a good... Well, actually, not him, because he's a fictional character. DC have done such a great job at making him stand out amongst other gods like Superman and Batman and Flash. And whereas Marvel have always... He's had his moments, and he's just stood up from time to time. But when you look at everything, you can just sort of see Clint there. So I've always been drawn more to the Arrow. But this job's definitely doing it. This show's doing a great job at changing that around. The trick arrows are running out, which is quite funny because... Not funny, but a bit harsh, because... It goes to show that maybe his Avengers connections and whatnot are running thin a little bit, because he would have got his trick arrow shit from S.H.I.E.L.D., but no longer in S.H.I.E.L.D. because the Hydra shenanigans and whatnot. Yes, he had a Pym one, but I think this is an effect of Tony Stark, because it would have been Stark that made a lot of his trick arrows. Stark's dead. Yeah. So it's because obviously now he's literally going to the point where he needs to try and steal old trick arrows back, because he's a bit... Whatnot shenanigans and fucking carry on. We go back to this is pretty cool. Matt Fraction's comic books. Again, it's a comic book line from 2012, which I've got upstairs, and I've said to you so many times this should just mirror images yet. Apart from this one minor difference, they mentioned a boomerang arrow. And Clint's like, that's a bad idea, and Kate's like, no, that's a good idea. In the comics, it's actually Clint that thinks it's a great idea, and Kate Bishop is the one that thinks it's a bad idea. So that's the only way. I just added a little chuckle at that. I was like, that's quite funny. What's that? I don't know. The Endgame flashbacks. I thought that was. It's always quite nice to go back to this, because you go. It's like a nice, weird, fresh reminder. You see Clint running around doing his fighting, hoo-ha, hoo-ha, and you go back to these weird Endgame flashbacks and shit, like, oh shit, yeah, you're up against fucking mad-ass people. The line he said in Age of Ultron proper stands out for me forever now. You know, where he tries to get on Scarlet's side and try and give him, it was like, I'm a guy with a bow and I was shooting at robots, none of this makes sense. Yeah. And it just keeps coming back. I just can't get over the fact that he really is just a dude with a bow and arrow against some fucking crazy shenanigans. And he's done such a fucking hell of a job on standing toe to toe.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's mental.
Very mental.
The next one, we've got
Mental Oriental.
We've got yeah. Oh, this was quite cool. I don't know if you noticed it. Again in the flat, there's a long line of video games, and amongst them video games is Tomb Raider, but it's the modern Tomb Raider because Tomb Raider is more known to having dual pistols, but the cover work for a lot of the new ones, so with a bow and arrow. So I thought that was quite cool.
Just actually, I'm playing the new ones.
Well, there you go. Does the newest one have a bow?
Yeah.
Yes, I thought that was
the last three games are all tying with each other.
There you go. So I just thought it was quite cool. Reference a modern day.
And I use the bow and arrow a lot, actually.
Is it quite cool?
It is.
I like using the bow and arrow in Dead Rising, the zombie game, the Capcom game, because you can put like dynamite at the end of it. It's fun, very fun.
Very fun.
What have I got here? Okay, sure. Kate, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Lakia shirt. Do you know who you might not get it right here because I'm pronouncing it wrong. I think it's Laika. 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 It could be Laika.
I've heard of Laika.
This is pretty cool. Again, I basically point out that this is the exact shirt she wore in the comics. But what's also funny about this, it was the real life name of the Russian dog that they sent up into space. And of course, we do have a Russian space dog in the world of comics with Cosmo.
Yeah.
So I quite like that one. Whoever fucking put that. I'll mention they've got another mention to another Hawkeye villain. Small mention. Again, don't know if it's referencing it. I don't know if it's coming true. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But the character who would go on to be Bombshell in the Hawkeye comics is somewhat referenced. But again, we'll see that. Yelena's comic costume is representative from comics. They're just doing such an amazing thingy. But what was interesting, the fact that Hawkeye knew that this was a Black Widow straight away. The gauntlets obviously give it away. The Black Widow pose that she keeps doing during the fight, but the way she fights, like he knew straight away, I'm fighting a Black Widow here.
Yeah.
Like he without, because that just goes to how well he knew Natasha. And this one's really friggin' heartbreaking because just before he kicks Kate out of the little dynamic duo team up they've got going on, she's falling off the building in the back pose, hands going up, help, and it's just a straight up mirror image of when Black Widow fell in Vormir, and that's what triggered him to be like, nah, fuck this, I've had to see some.
I can't do this again. Fuck you. Get away.
Yeah, and they had that was quite heartbreaking to see. And then my final one is just talking more about Yelena, because Yelena's here. As far as we're aware, she's only on the side of Madam Hydra. She was seen fighting Echo. She's got no Kingpin involvement or ties or whatever. So he's fighting these two wars on two different fronts, against the Tracksuit Mafia, somewhat against himself, somewhat against his past, trying to keep his family safe. He's trying to keep Kate safe, but also trying to guide her in the right spot. It's got a fucking hell of a lot going on.
Bless him.
Yeah, again, for one guy. And I like the whole... remember that sequence we get of him putting all the different... I don't know what fruit it was from the freezer. And all he wanted to do... Because we imagine Captain America, after a big war, he just goes back, chills out, he's fine. Iron Man, he'll go back, to stuff, he's fine. But Clint, after a fight, has to go back, ice up, sit down, put his feet up.
Bless him. And
it's just great to see that we've got such a great hero who's just a regular guy.
Yeah, he's just a regular dude he's just as sore as we would get.
Yeah, the only one in comics for me that just sort of pulls it off being best, being just a regular Joe, I'm sorry, is always going to be Batman. Batman seems to be the most superhuman person there is in the entire world without being superhuman.
Yeah.
He's a special breed.
Batman's a different breed altogether, isn't he?
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. But now, what's your final thoughts and stuff on the episode, Chris? That's all my notes.
I'm enjoying it. It's doing wonders for me. It's high up there for me. I'm fucking loving it.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. So literally, I don't know what you want to do here, because we'll go watch Spidey Spied. I don't know if you just want to go grab something, come straight back and watch it.
Can do.
Or what you want to do.
Can do. I'm happy with that.
I'll have to settle him down first, though, because you can't have people around watching shit without being a pest. But anyway, his first day of class was the other day, and all I learnt about was different colours.
Okay.
Visuals, go watch Hawkeye. I don't think we said spoiler free at the start. Spoiler heavy. It'll be in the title anyway.
Yeah, do go watch fucking it, guys, because it's fucking mint.
It's amazing. But visuals, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and all that shenanigans. Anything else, Chris?
Keep on.
Hey! Keep being you, keep on keeping on.
Bye-bye.